Hello, Makadini, habari yako. Welcome to another episode of Hannah's Shenanigans. But more importantly, this is a new series. Thank you so much to anyone who was available for the adventure series, which was the past one. And before that, we went into Solitude season. And we are getting into a new series. So if you are new to the channel, I present a theme for 4 episodes so that we keep it fresh, we keep it live. And if you've got any questions, please put them in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you think this information could be helpful to someone, or if it has helped you and you want others to experience this. If you've got any questions, don't be shy. I'll put my contact details in the description below. You can send me an email. In the email, you can put your number and then we can connect on WhatsApp or whichever way that you feel most comfortable. Getting into it. So today I am looking into a new series, and this time we'll be looking at what we call difficult emotions. So we're going to be looking at difficult emotions basically. And of course, the best way to do that is to start by identifying what are our emotions, what do they mean? Are they as important as people make them out to be these days? You know, growing up, people used to say they ignored emotions, but I always ask, were we there back then? No, we were not. So let's just deal with what we have and what we have as a present. So in this presentation, basically, I will be looking at the definition of emotions. What are emotions? And I'm looking at my own, not dictionary definitions. And I'll also look at being aware of your emotions, acknowledging them, and it's going to be a bit different. Awareness and acknowledgement, as well as acceptance. So the 3 A's that we use to deal with emotions. Okay, so getting right into it. What are emotions? In front of you, there are these emojis. You can see there's love, there's excitement, flirtatious, there's anger, there is joy, there's confusion, surprise, and there's just happiness, peace, irony. So emotions are those feelings that you have toward different people, places, events, activities. So those feelings that you have, of course, when we talk of emotions, people touch their chest, but they come from our heads. There are neurons in the head. I'm not a scientist of any sort. Well, I'm a social scientist, so I'm not going to really get into the whole scientific aspect of your neurology and all these things. But what I know, for me, emotions are the feelings that let you know that you're alive and how you feel about a certain event, a person, an activity. So for me, that's what emotions are. And so you might then ask, okay, fine, we know emotions, but why should I be aware of them? A lot of people, everyone has emotions, and we have all of them. The problem, though, in today's society that I have encountered is a lot of people are not quite aware of their emotions. So if you ever go with me on a confidence building session, or we are doing vision boards, there's something that I always do, especially if you're new to me. I will ask you, how are you? And I'll ask you twice or 3 times. How are you? How are you? And how are you really? And I might even ask you at the beginning of the session, right in the middle of the session, and at the end of the session. Because people are not quite aware of how they're feeling, which might sound weird, but it's so true. It's an experience that a lot of people are not quite aware of their feelings. And because of that, we've got exercises, one which I'll just share with you, but we do them in the confidence building, where for 5 to 7 days, a person has to write their emotions in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening, every day, without fail, within those 7 days. And many a time, people surprise themselves, like, wow, I didn't know this was the dominant emotion. Of course, I give away what we call the feelings wheel. And from the feelings wheel, you get to choose, because English is beautiful. It's got so many languages to express the same thing. I'm angry, I'm seething, I'm livid, I'm infuriated, I'm happy, I'm excited, I'm joyful, I'm exhilarated. So there's those five groups of feelings. You get to see the different words and you write which one you actually feel in the morning, just a few minutes after waking up, in the afternoon, during the day, and the grind, and in the evening after all said and done. So when we do that feeling, people become aware of their feelings. Yes, someone will say, I know how I feel, but are you aware of it? Knowing and being aware. I know I might look like I'm walking on a very thin line, but the difference is very thin also. To know, okay, like, yeah, I know I'm happy, but to be aware of the happiness, like, oh, I'm bubbling over. I can't help this. This is happening. And to consciously bring it from your subconscious to the fore. And you acknowledge, you then move to the next part. So awareness is bringing it to the fore. And then after awareness, you acknowledge the feeling. Now, you might feel angry, you might feel happy, you might feel in love, but ignore it or reject it. You just don't want, especially with these difficult emotions that we're going to be talking about throughout the series. A lot of times people don't want to acknowledge that they're angry, they're disappointed, they're resentful, they're jealous, they are livid, they are all the feelings, negative feelings. Of course, that does not mean people always show or acknowledge their positive feelings. So sometimes when you're in love, you might be shy, you don't want to share it with people, it's a bit embarrassing. I really don't understand why people find love, of all emotions, that's the one that shows embarrassment. Like, people don't want it to be out there too soon, probably because it's closely linked to disappointment. So you don't want to be disappointed, because when you feel that you love somebody, naturally you would like them to feel the same way, but it's not always the case, unfortunately. So, but it's important to acknowledge your feelings, whether negative or positive. If you're happy, be happy. And sometimes acknowledgement is hard because other people around you, usually acknowledge is difficult because of surrounding circumstances. People don't want to acknowledge a feeling, maybe because not everybody is feeling it. So you cannot be sad about something because not everybody is sad. That's not true. Your feelings are valid and you need to acknowledge them after being aware. Like, oh, I'm sad. Then you're like, oh, hello, sadness. I'm sure you all know that song by Simon and Garfunkel, Hello Darkness, My Old Friend. So some people need to sit with their emotions and say that, like, hello anger, my old friend. Hello joy, my old friend. Just acknowledge how you feel. You will thank me later. We'll talk about this. And then after being aware, of course, knowing, I didn't include it, but yeah, then you are aware, and then you acknowledge, and then you accept. Yep, this one is one of those things that people generally do not want to do. For many emotions, I think I feel, maybe because I'm going to talk like a black girl, a Shona girl, there were some feelings we couldn't accept. So you could not be unhappy, especially if things are going well. Then you have to reject the idea of being miserable when you've got money, when you've got friends, and on the outer surface it seems like you've got it all. So you have to reject those feelings, and even feelings of loss, feelings of dejection. We try to move on, and in the confidence building sessions, or even in the vision board, I always tell people that what is more important is not moving on fast, but moving on right. And when I say moving on right, like fully. So you shouldn't just say, okay, oh yeah, all right, I'm angry, let me get over it and move forward. Yes, it's like, if you move forward without dealing, without accepting, without then understanding what you need to do to get right, or to get to a balanced state, which is generally the best state to be in. We would hope that you'd be in a balanced state all the time, but that, of course, I wouldn't be having this series if that was the situation with the world. Right. So whatever you do, you need to accept. If you are joyful, you are happy about something, accept it, take it, embrace it, and be like, this is what my happiness feels like. This is what joy feels like. Because some people don't even feel like they deserve joy. Other people don't feel like they deserve to be angry. Well, because they don't earn that much, or they don't have what XYZ has. Society mostly. So people will deny. So it's not only acceptance, most of the time is only possible if you are aware and you acknowledge. If you are not aware and you don't, how can you accept something? So if you are living a lie, or you're not telling yourself the truth, like, I'm feeling lonely. If you're feeling lonely, you've known it, you are aware of it, then you acknowledge the loneliness. Then you accept it. Acceptance does not mean you're okay with it, but it just means that you are facing it and saying, okay, this is what it is. And most of the time you'll find that people, when they accept a specific emotion, they can talk about it, they can then work through the right emotion. There are a lot of people who are working through anger management, and yet they need sadness management. Because remember, I said we've got a whole wheel of emotions if you want to know more. And almost always people confuse them or mismatch what they're really, really feeling, because they don't go through that deep seeking and searching process to accept and to acknowledge exactly what you are feeling. So that being the case, I hope that, in this series I can help, but I bunched them up so that there are 4 episodes. Otherwise, we're going to have 12, and I'm not ready for that sort of commitment right now. So we are going to have different emotions, but which are related in these episodes. And I hope that if you can join me, because it's every week, I will be posting these every week on Tuesday. They're actually scheduled, if I should let you know. So that you can start thinking about it. And I hope that we can have conversations. If you want to have one-on-one conversations with me, please feel free. If you want to book a consultation for confidence building, or you're getting ready to do your first ever vision board, whether it's your life vision board or a 100-day vision board, which is what I specialize in, let me know and we get to it, so that you really are the best version of yourself. So, sweethearts, as always, this message that I'm sharing with you always comes from my heart, and I hope it finds its way to yours. Love and light forever. Mwah. Bye.